Hey guys, sorry I have a couple of technical difficulties this morning. I wasn't hearing the intro before and my son set it up and now you can't hear the intro. Oh my god. Okay, how you going, John? David, Deb, I am Kai, Cynthia, Michelle, Shannon, Flyby Stew, Voyager, Void, how you going? Who else have we got? Out to lunch. I am Kai is there. Alex is there. Who else have we got? Deb Jones, how you going? And David and Carl, how you going? Greetings from the Tokyo subway. Oh my goodness. Carl said, I can't hear. D-Lee said, hello, can anyone hear me? Alex said, no sound. I thought it was just me. Now we have sound because I had to turn the desktop audio on. Technical difficulties, guys, all round. Okay. MM, how you going? D-Lee, how you going? MJ, how you going? Damn it, Mandy, how you going? Good to see you guys. Nicey Glover, how you going? And Darren, how you going? Okay. There's a lot going on. DeSantis has just announced his run for President of the United States. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Elon Musk is now holding a Twitter space right now for Ron DeSantis to announce his run for President of the United States. I was listening to it. Sorry, but he sounds like a bit of a wet mop. And what's he going to do? Is he going to just leave Florida now because he can't run Florida if he becomes president? And what a lot of people think this is to try and divide the Republican Party so that Joe Biden gets back in. People are saying that Ron DeSantis is WEF and he's had donations from people from the WEF, so we'll see how it goes. Hey Xenotron, hey Meg, Simone, how you going? And Tina Turner died today. Yes, Alex, she did apparently. And damn it, Mandy said MRE sent me. Thank you so much. I appreciate MRE for what he did for me last week. They killed Dr. Rashad Battar on the 18th. Really? Damn it, Mandy said, I won't listen to it. All it's going to do is split the Republican vote and let the Dems take it. Exactly. Exactly. So, and look, Ron DeSantis should stay in Florida and fix Florida like he was doing instead of running for president and possibly leaving Florida into God knows who else's hands. So, yeah, I don't trust him and I don't trust Elon either. I really don't. Okay, well, let's get into what the rest of the news. And by the way, if anyone does want to donate, you can do it. There's a pinned comment at the top, highlighted in blue. It's the only way at the moment. I can't even go through Streamlabs to get tips. Oh, what a mess. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Shane Whitley said, does anybody seriously believe this nonsense? This was Dan Andrews who shut Victoria down. He's put new land taxes on people, and apparently they won't be paid by renters. Yeah? You want to bet? They're going to pass that on, and rents are going to go up. So this bloke is a bloody idiot and needs to go. Maggie May said, born WW2, said electricity prices plunge by 75% as Finland opens their new nuclear power plant. So nuclear is the way to go. I hope you can all hear me and everything. Yep, okay. Do I still have that PayPal? I do, but it's got my full name on it and I don't want it. I don't mind you guys knowing, but just for people who just want to dox people, I'm not. Like, I really don't care about my full name being known. But, yeah, well, they can't do anything to me. They can't, like, ring my employer. I don't have one. So they can't dox me from a job or anything. But, yeah, even PayPal. Unless you get up to $300 in donations, they keep it for 30-something days. So the only way Stripe is the one that will get it through quicker. It'll get it through in a couple of days. So there's no I don't think there's any other way unless anyone's got any suggestions. Brad Gemman said not only did Daniel Andrews make Victoria the most locked down region in the world, he's now charging people for it. Oh, by the way, I'm now charging you for me crushing your business. The guy is an absolute dead set tosser. I'll say the other way. Just Me said from tomorrow you'll pay 30% more electricity for more for electricity in Victoria. Businesses will pay 33% more. After the worst budget in history in a state bankrupted by idiot bedwetting politicians during their overreaction to a COVID flu, we were also the recipients of the world's longest lockdowns. How special are we? Victoria is officially a banana republic. I have no idea how Victorians will survive this. Tell me again how the government cares about you. And here's, your power bills are expected to surge by around 30%. Go nuclear and that won't happen. Okay, Christian Hawkins said, join me in pledging to keep your kids away from Target. I don't know if anyone knows what Target did this week, but they put Pride stuff at the front of their store and immediately people started boycotting. They're trying to walk it back now. She said, don't give Target a chance to indoctrinate your kids. Parents, let's at least pledge to no longer expose our children to this predatory store behaviour. We have Target here in Australia, and I don't shop there, so I'll boycott. No worries. Laura Loomer said, Elon Musk, I noticed that big tech investor David Sachs is set to moderate your Twitter space with Governor Ron DeSantis, which is happening now, in which he's announcing his 2024 run for president. Can you please explain how this is an impartial moderator when David Sachs hosted a fundraiser for DeSantis in 2021? This seems like a bit like an in-kind contribution to DeSantis, not an honest and impartial conversation as it's being advertised. So David Sachs is a former PayPal executive. Do you trust them? I'm thinking of deleting my PayPal again, actually. Because of what they've changed all the rules and it's really weird and I don't understand it and I don't like it. Okay, so there's that. Is there a thread here? Meet the Jewish tech mogul launching DeSantis. And all you have to do is look who donated to DeSantis. John Goddard said we were warned. Orwell warned us about authoritarianism and propaganda. Oh, oh my goodness. I can't even say this. Solzhenitsyn warned us about socialism. Huxley warned us about pleasure and distraction. Bradbury warned us about censorship. Burgess warned us about alienating the youth. Golding warned us about the human condition. And Rand warned us about punishing the businessman. Did we listen? Most of us did. Some people didn't. Nick Holt said people are spellbound by the cult leader. The signs are evident. Unquestioning devotion, loss of critical thinking, financial exploitation, groupthink, and a supposed greater good. They have been unknowingly deceived. Look, I will agree when they say something right, but I don't trust them. Matt Walsh said trans activists have gotten everything they want by crying hysterically and using emotional manipulation. They are now running into a faction of the right that doesn't give a shit about their theatrics or their feelings, and they don't know what to do about it. They're panicked. Good, because I don't care. Conservatives are nice people who like to get along with others. That's been used against them for a long time. That's why they needed those of us who are incorrigible assholes to come along and do what they didn't have the stomach for. They complained about our methods, but now I think they're starting to understand. You've got to hit them back. Not as in hit, like, physically, obviously. And Kaylee Tiller said tons of leftists opposing this crap too. Sane people everywhere by the look of it. Good. Katie said, tasered New South Wales great-grandmother, the one who got tased by the New South Wales police, died in hospital. R.I.P. Poor lady didn't deserve to die in such a horrific way. I suggest Police Commissioner Miss Webb reviews this footage to see what actually occurred so that it never happens again. The cop's been charged after New South Wales dementia patient tasered. How disgraceful. An 85-year-old woman. That's my mum's age. And by the way, my mum's not doing too well either. She's needing in-home care now. So my daughter's she's leaving her job to possibly take care of my mum. Because I'm just a bit too far away to travel down there as often as I should, which is sad. Alexandra Marshall said there are two political systems, you can only have one. One, all Australians hold equal status under the law, irrespective of race, gender or ideological attributes. Achievement is based on merit and choice. Or two, Australians will be ranked via their race, gender and other attributes. These determine a person's power within society. Individual merit becomes meaningless. No matter how hard an individual works or the quality of their talent, they must sit behind the state's preferred social group, because that's where Australia is right now. Get Trump back in. Stuff dissenters, really. Trump 2024. That's it. And I'm Australian, and I can see it. Got to let him finish what he started, because he didn't, in the first term, he didn't even get a chance. I don't think they realised how deep the swamp is. Matt Walsh said the left wanted to turn Dylan Mulvaney into mainstream mascot for gender ideology. Some conservatives realised what they were doing and counterpunched, making him into a polarising and divisive figure instead. The Mulvaney plan backfired on the left, and this was the groundwork that ultimately made the Bud Light boycott possible. Some conservatives complained we were talking about Mulvaney too much. They complained about Bud Light boycott too. They didn't understand the strategy, or even that there was a strategy. I hope that now they're awake and next time they'll help us rather than scoffing on the sidelines. Because some people go, no, don't do anything back. No. Even Jesus threw the tables, mate. He tipped the tables at the bankers. Steve Mudflat McGrew's Reemasculated podcast said, look out, Larry, what's this? Oh, he's replying. Wow, I'm losing the plot. Liz Crokin said, report, JP Morgan Chase on Tuesday sought to shift blame for failing to snuff out sex crimes committed by the late Jeffrey Epstein, accusing the US Virgin Islands of harbouring and shielding the disgraced financier as he abused young women and girls over 2 decades. JP Morgan said Epstein had a quid pro quo relationship with the US Virgin Islands' highest-ranking officials, bestowing money and favours in exchange for millions of dollars of tax incentives and looking the other way at his crimes. The source was the New York Post. Tara Bull said, I can't predict the future, but Biden declared MAGA most dangerous domestic threat. Really? Make America great again as a domestic threat? 60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate are missing from a cargo train, 10 times the amount used in the Oklahoma bombing. Senators were given satellite phones. A U-Haul crashed into the White House barricade. Nazi flag found inside, laid out on full display. Seems to be the perfect psyop in the making. Look, if you've seen those, what are they called? White supremacists or whatever they are, the Nazis, they look like feds. Seriously. Mischief said, this is huge, breaking news. Trump files a $3.78 billion defamation lawsuit against, who was it? Against the Washington Post. And I think that's for like defamation type of thing, slander, defamation. Amuse said, breaking, the FBI is unable to turn over any evidence related to its investigation into Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation, as it admits it destroyed all the evidence after Biden took office. Millions of taxpayer funds have been thrown away. And look, nothing's ever completely gone. This is the internet. Everything is still there, but hidden. The FBI kept the investigation into the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation open through Trump's first term to prevent Congress from being able to see the evidence. When Biden took office, the FBI destroyed the evidence so it could not turn it over to Congress. Of course they did. Breaking, newly released documents show Biden's DOJ covered up the Clinton Foundation by destroying all the evidence. They have it all, don't worry. It's not gone. Kelly said, how many claiming to be Aboriginal are now half caste or less? Seriously, you know your own tribe would have killed you just for being half caste? Let's get some facts out there, because they would have. Seriously, their own tribes would have killed them for being half castes. And yet they're a lot of the ones standing up demanding reparations and everything else. What a mess. Alexandra Marshall said the state has shut down debate on trans issues in school, whether it's drag queens, pronouns, or encouraging gender confusion. Pauline Hanson talks about how parents have lost control of children's education. Pull your children out of school, seriously. Homeschool them. You're better off. They won't get indoctrinated with the climate rubbish, communism, and trans things, transformers. The White Rabbit podcast said, so in the last week, 30 tonnes of ammonium nitrate goes missing. So it's 30 tonnes. 50 US senators are given satellite phones in case of a catastrophic event. US, be aware. It could be a catastrophic event coming, but it will be a false flag. Doesn't mean that nothing happens or no one gets hurt, because people can get hurt. It just means that the people that they are blaming aren't the ones who did it. FDA suggests internet could go out this week. Okay, so I'm warning you now. Could be a blackout, could be internet blackout, and the U-Haul that crashed outside the White House with the Nazi flag in it. What the fuck is going on? Jack Pozo said transgender mother announces he took hormones to create milk-like substance from his... Oh my God! That he plans to feed his baby. Mate, that'd be pus. That would be not good for a baby. Just because you take hormones as a male does not make you be able to breastfeed. What do they not understand about this? The poor baby, not only will the poor baby grow up all confused and God knows, right? But whatever he's feeding them from his nipples, like this person, if they're leaking from their nipples, need to go to hospital. There is something wrong. They think they've already successfully induced lactation. Like, I can actually make milk now. No, you cannot. Dear God, please help us. This is insane. Dr. Russell McGregor said, just in, judge tosses Kari Lake lawsuit after trial on fraudulent signature verification shows at least 274,000 ballots were verified in less than 3 seconds. So who's the judge? Okay, Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Peter Thompson dismissed Kari Lake's lawsuit against the midterms late Monday night following a 3-day trial exposing misconduct and fraudulent verification. My God, what a mess. What a mess the world's in when this is going on. I believe Kari Lake's got a lot of evidence. Okay, now it's this says it's in Denmark now. The Big Mig said something is rotten in Denmark. Share this far and wide. Explosives. 60,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate, a chemical used in explosives. I've just bookmarked the same thing over and over again. Why only 50 senators? Why not all of them who were receiving the satellite phones? A source who works from the Mayo Clinic just told my source that the hospital is seeking among its staff volunteer amateur radio operators to assist with communications during emergencies when official internal and external communications are not available. Notice this says when, not if, communications are not available. The document reference was posted on the Mayo employee portal on May the 18th. So what do you think's going on? It's going to be a false flag. I don't know where. I'd say US look out, and I'd say Denmark look out as well. If that's where the pounds of ammonium nitrate's gone to. Buck Angel, who is a female to male, says, so let me get this straight. Trans women want you to call them women and want women to be called cisgender. What is this called? I think it's misogynistic a bit, but I could be mistaken, but that's what it looks like to me. They're trying to push women out of They want to be called women, and they want to call women cisgenders. Call me that and I'm going to slap you in the face. Nick Holt said, with the WHO declaring the pandemic over, Anthony Albanese is now obligated to fulfil his August 16th promise of conducting a thorough examination of the circumstances surrounding the handling of the pandemic, but the crooked state premiers don't want it. I don't trust Anthony Albanese, but he's obligated to because he said he would, but he also said that everyone was going to get $275 off their electricity, which never happened, so don't trust him. Dr. Simon Godek, again, he's going on the Krasenstein brothers. Hey, Elon Musk, were you aware that Krasenstein and Ed Krasen accumulated their wealth through fraudulent online activities that affected tens of thousands of victims, as the attached court documents show? Because Elon Musk is friends with these people. The twins, who have been implicated in Ponzi scheme and wire fraud, now utilise their influential Twitter accounts, originally started as Justin Bieber and Jonas Brothers fan pages, so that's how they got all their followers, to combat the truth. These accounts were then inflated using questionable methods such as follow-unfollow bots. This situation raises two significant questions. Why are you endorsing convicted fraudsters who've swindled funds from vulnerable individuals like seniors and single mothers? And why were these two scam artists reinstated on Twitter 2 months prior to the improperly suspended scientists and medical professionals? Looking forward to hearing from you. Simon. And also, why isn't Alex Jones back on Twitter? Like, I don't trust him either, but seriously, if you're going to let these people on, you might as well let Alex Jones on. I don't know if anyone's ever seen the Krasenstein brothers. They are, oh my God, infuriating. Unfortunately, Brian keeps doing what he's good at, lying. He now says I attacked his wife and Ed's kids. Another lie. He also claims I got community noted. That's correct, but since Brian lied about that Becky email, the note got removed. There's more going on to this. Like, there's someone called Becky now involved, or they've made a Twitter account themselves, calling themselves Becky. Andrew Turek said 17-year-old girl manages to defeat her attacker in Denmark by using canister of pepper spray and is now being charged because pepper spray is illegal. My God, how much of an effing slave do you have to be in order to put up with this? You know you can make your own pepper spray. We're not allowed it here either. Watch me. As he ripped off her clothing, okay, so she managed to escape. Now police say she'll be charged with a crime for defending herself. I'd go to jail for defending myself. I really would. And you know what? The people in jail will be saying, what are you in here for? Oh, defending myself. What? Like, seriously? Jules Jones said, I've got some wild news for you. Curry Lake just spilled some tea on the war room this morning. Apparently behind closed doors, 99 people, including people like Bill Gates and Stephen Richard, were approved to approve ballots in the comfort of their own homes, behind computers and closed doors. So they were verifying, were they? Coughing up a lung, don't mind me. Yeah, so Bill Gates and who else? Stephen Richard were doing it in their own home, approving ballots in their own home. What was Bill Gates doing approving ballots? And get this, these sneaky verifiers somehow approve ballots in 0 to 2 seconds, when it takes a full second to even load an image. Talk about a speed demon. These sham selections are a complete joke. Let's hope and pray Maricopa County Senior Court AZ Judge Peter Thompson uses his power to make some real change, and he didn't. So there you go. We need Trump back to sort this out. Seriously. DeSantis is not going to do it. He can't even, like, he's having trouble with Disney. Why didn't he do Disney years ago? Why did he wait till now? Roll said, please explain, Albo MP, that's our Prime Minister here in Australia, the Trojan Horse referendum, it seems. ABN details, the entity name is Indigenous Voice, Pty Ltd. Need I say more? Australian private company. So is it going to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange like Australia is, and the Australian Police Force and things like that? Because they are all listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Why? Australia's a corporation, that's why. Q-Mum said, blind my ass. Stevie Wonder's been laughing in our faces because he can see us. I've read this before too. I've seen this before many years ago. Hello, I'm the character known as Stevie Wonder. No, I was never blind, just playing the role to fool you sheeps. I even caught a microphone from falling. What's he taking photos of if he can't see? Has anyone else heard this? Because I heard this years ago about Stevie Wonder. And I'd forgotten about it until this popped up and I went, yeah, hey. Mindy Robinson said it's been a year since Uvalde, still no answers on why the story kept changing about the teacher propping the door open for the shooter. Who was this teacher? How did they just so happen to leave the door open at the exact right time? Why cops suspiciously did nothing for 77 minutes as the shooting kept going? Why don't they even look worried about anything on video? Why was no one prepared for this when they supposedly held a training exercise for this exact same thing 2 months before? When you hear of a training exercise that eventually goes live, that's normally a false flag. Why didn't one mum know the name of her kid when she was being interviewed? That says even more, false flag. How is there still no motive? Why didn't authorities do anything to stop him when he started making threats online? Why wasn't the school police officer on campus that day? How did an 18-year-old kid living at home afford thousands of dollars in guns and gear? We know they can track gun purchase and bank accounts. Why are some of these videos of people reacting outside so bizarre? Are some of them from the drill 2 months earlier? Or the kid walking around in circles and who puts his hands on his head like, oh no, every time he sees the camera is my favourite. The feds want to remove the guns and leave everyone defenceless every time these things happen, but they never want to give us answers to any of them, or explain how a government that spies on everything we do always seems to conveniently let these previously known to authorities shooters slip through their hands. The Las Vegas one, the handy book, 9/11, the Oklahoma bombing, the Boston bombing. Why do the feds spend more time chasing down trespassing J6 protesters than they do solving major terrorist attacks and mass shootings? I mean, I know the answer, but it's time everyone else starts piecing together what the government is actually doing to us before they do it again. Because they are going to do it again. Very shortly, mind you. Okay, Chris Paul said, I've never seen this video before. Anyone know if it's real? Pentagon 9/11. No plane wreckage. This was one from 9/11, apparently. Shivers, that was loud. That nobody's seen. Can you show me where the plane went? Because I can't see anything that resembles, even remotely, a plane. Interesting, isn't it? There should be like the circle of a hole with two, even if the wings snapped off, there'd still be two cuts in the sides. Looks like an explosion from the inside. Interesting though. So this is footage that a lot of people haven't seen before. I hadn't seen it either. So we'll just watch this. I honestly don't think a plane hit that building. No way. Explosion. Just like the towers. Because they don't fall down on their own footprint like they did without being a controlled demolition. That's the only way those things fall like that. Any plane wreckage? Any engines? Anything? Can't see anything. Is that supposed to be the plane? I'm looking for a plane, guys. Can't see one, but I'm looking for one. It all looks just like part of the building. Yeah, see, 9/11 was another one. We know that because CIA was part of it. Okay. Kaylee Triller said, anyone else tired of the rich celebrities cashing in on virtue signalling points by giving other women's protections away? Beyonce will never have to condescend to use a public restroom, so it's easy for her to force the rest of us peasants to share them with men. Megan Rapinoe said, and Sue Bird will never have to compete with grown-ass men for a college scholarship, so what do they care about women who come after them? So much for the sisterhood. Yeah. Their sisterhood is them and the elite. Benny Johnson said ABC reporter Amy Roback tried to release her story exposing Jeffrey as a pedo all the way back in 2015, but the network blocked it. Who owns ABC? Disney. When you start to put the pieces together, it's horrifying. Disney, the company that targets your kids, is the same company that was protecting the greatest pedo in American history. So go on, DeSantis, go and do your job like you're supposed to. Sorry for anyone who supports him, but I don't. And if you don't believe us, here's the clip.
Had the story for 3 years through and threatened us a million different ways. Senator Kate and Will, that also quashed the story. And then Roberts, we would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No.
Hang on. The speech isn't matching with her mouth.
No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew.
Unless it's like a delayed. Sometimes the internet does do that. You get delayed response, so your mouth moves differently than you can hear the speech, but it's not going to play for me, is it? Twitter. Still doing the same old crap it was doing before. Yeah, and guess who owns Disney? China do. They bought it years ago. 43%. And it's a joint venture with the Chinese Communist Party that allows for the operation of the Shanghai Disney Resort. And it's not an equal split, by the way. Instead, the CCP has set 57% ownership, while Disney only holds 43% ownership. No need to wonder why now. Come on, man. Said Brittany Higgins' lies have been exposed, and there was a Kavanaugh incident here in Australia where a lady falsely accused a politician of abuse, and she got paid $3 million. And Blind Freddie could see that she was BSing, okay? So her lies have been exposed, and her chief backer and the grubby payments of $3 million came from the dud PM, Albo. This disgraceful attack and run of deceitful lies is now seen as corruption. Labor are responsible for this episode, and Albo should be sacked today. And he should be. General Mike Flynn said powerful testimony in response to Sean Foucht. We've heard the rumblings, but now we see the proof. God is moving through the hearts of Hollywood. This is just the beginning. Hey, Jim Carrey, what's going on?
Made a decision to transcend and to leave darkness behind. And it takes a champion to make that decision. And I really want to speak to the fact that I've had some challenges in the last couple of years myself. Ultimately, I believe that suffering leads to salvation. And in fact, it's the only way. That we have to somehow accept, and not deny, but feel our suffering and feel our losses, and then we make one of two decisions. We either decide to go through the gate of resentment, which leads to vengeance, which leads to self-harm, which leads to harm to others, or we go through the gate of forgiveness, which leads to grace. And your being here is an indication that you've made that decision already. You've made the decision to walk through the gate of forgiveness to grace, just as Christ did on the cross. He suffered terribly and he was broken by it to the point of doubt and a feeling of absolute abandonment, which all of you felt.
Anyway, that's a good thing if Jim Carrey is sticking to that. Good on him. Don LeCrae, breaker of narratives, says, on July the 6th, 2007, a 23-page letter from Epstein's lawyers, Alan Dershowitz and Gerald Leftcourt, stated that Epstein was co-founder of the Clinton Global Initiative, which became the Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation is most known for its work with the children of Haiti. Does anyone remember the lady that got busted trying to smuggle 20-something kids out of Haiti? She worked for the Clinton Foundation. The letter was tied to an ultimately successful bid to negotiate a plea deal before Epstein was charged. Anyone surprised? Yeah. Julie Donuts said, I want to clarify something. Many times in the past, people have given out dates which turned out to be nothing. Know this. No one but God knows an actual date of any events happening. There are a handful of people that have actual clearance and are a part of this operation. Where am I up to? There. That know the next step or action. Because this is a war. Events can change, delays and unexpected circumstances happen. The enemy can do something unpredictable and unexpected. That's how wars work. If you're familiar with wartime tactics, this will be obvious. Most don't have any idea. Some don't even know there is a war. Many are looking for when something big will break out, what year, month, date, etc. We all want answers now. I believe many have good intentions, many great keyboard warriors putting information together and making an educated guess based on their research. This is an invisible war for the mind, an information war, a spiritual war for our souls. No one has exact dates. So understand this war has been happening since 2015. There's a lot of misinformation, misinterpretations, and some are even flat out lying. But to say nothing will happen, get frustrated and just give up is not an option. You eat the chicken and spit out the bones. Take the meat and spit out the details. There is a war happening. There will be justice. Anyone involved with evil of any kind will be removed or eradicated. No one is escaping this. Just because something you thought was going to happen didn't happen does not mean nothing will happen to the enemy. Just because you are tired and sick of the chaos doesn't mean it's over. Just because you were disappointed because the date went by and nothing seemed to happen, stop looking for dates. Stop whining, stop the noise and complaining. It does nothing but delay the inevitable. All things come to an end. We are in the final days of this unprecedented biblical storm that is led by God. This will end in glory and we will have God's harvest on earth. It's difficult for everyone. Everyone is affected. Everyone's feeling the pain, anxiety and frustration. Everyone has different struggles. Some are okay financially. Some are in a really bad way. Some don't even know anything at all. Some don't care. Some can't take another day. Just know this war is already won. Things are manifesting now for the final blow that will seal the enemy's fate. We are to pray. Give thanks to our Father Jesus Christ and keep shouting out our victory, ignoring the negativity and hate. Know God is avenging them all. We are to be united with the ones that understand this too shall pass. We are alive to witness the greatest transfer of wealth and power in our lifetimes, many lifetimes. Be patient, be courageous, stand up, speak up. I know I will wait on God's timing forever. It ends in glory. Have a beautiful day. I thought that was quite a good message because people do throw out dates and those dates come and go and nothing much happens that we can see. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Okay, Gays Against Groomers said with Pride Month just around the corner. Oh no, not again. Our organisation's just released our official stance on it, read here. Now this is Gays Against Groomers, okay? Pride is not for kids. Whoa, that's very small. Just let me see if I can zoom. Years ago, Pride was about LGBT. People stepping out to show the world that they were normal people deserving of equality and marriage rights. They wanted the world to see that same-sex relationships were not a threat and in fact resembled the dynamic of straight relationships in many ways. They marched for their rights, and in 2004 the first legal gay marriage in the US was performed in Cambridge, MA. In June of 2015, the US Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the US Constitution guarantees the right for same-sex couples to marry in all 50 states. We had endured an excruciatingly drawn-out battle, so there was all the more reason to celebrate the anniversary of legal same-sex marriage every June. But as the years went by, this celebration morphed from one of love and equality to a raunchy display of overt sexuality and debauchery in our name. We became tired of the predictive pandering from companies looking to exploit us for profit by pretending to support us. We found ourselves exhausted by fellow members of our community who put their sexuality on a pedestal as if it were their singular personality trait. And most of all, we find ourselves incredibly disturbed by the inclusion of children in these annual sexual exhibitions. Gays Against Groomers is comprised of LGBT and T individuals who feel like our community has gone too far. We believe there's a firm difference between education versus indoctrination, inclusivity versus pandering, and celebrating your right to marry versus exhibiting disgusting behaviours meant for the privacy of your own home. We are the LGBT and T people who don't make our sexuality our dominant attribute, who don't need the world to accept us, and are satisfied with our current rights. We don't go along with the mainstream narrative regarding our community. Because of this, we face an onslaught of character assassinations daily, something we've grown numb to. Not only do we find pride unnecessary now, we are concerned by the exposure of inherently sexual materials that fall under the LGBT umbrella to children. In the past, we've seen young children brought to parades where grown adults are selling sex toys, hardly dressed, and displaying inappropriate behaviour many minors should not be witnessing. In this day and age, many believe this is a form of empowerment and a way to educate children with sex positivity. In reality, we are looking at the destruction of innocence right before our eyes, and we won't be silent about it. Each year, Pride seems to go on a little longer. It's not just Pride Month now, it's Pride Season. We firmly believe this is completely unnecessary. We're appalled by scenes like half-naked performers taking money from young children, like strippers, or kids being taught how to pole dance, or seeing "this book is gay" being given to minors. Children are being indoctrinated, sexualised, and even medicalised in the name of LGBTQ acceptance. The slippery slope has become a very real phenomena, and we are on a dark road to legal pedo. Gays Against Groomers will not let this happen without a fight. We are here to stand against it and hold the line and our community accountable. While this is something that has to happen from inside our community to be effective, we appreciate any and all supports in our efforts to hold the line and save the innocence of children. The right thing is not always popular, but we will persevere. So good on Gays Against Groomers. That's all I can say. Good on them, they're standing up. And they have been for a while. Mr. Green said to the Anons, if and when the shit hits the fan, find businesses in your city that start with Q. Seek the Qs to find each other. Stay safe. Where we go one, we go all. That's interesting because that's what I did when I invested in some crypto. Like I put $5 here, $5 there, you know, and a lot of them had Q in the name. Oh dear, we'll find out if they go like bottoms up or heads up. Wendy Patterson said, this is not normal. Attention, something is going to happen and our government is preparing themselves for it and leaving the public in the dark. And again, it goes on to say about the satellite phones for emergency communications. Is there anything more here? Stock up on groceries with a long shelf life. Get 3 months of your prescription and fill up your gas cans. There's no way that this is normal protocol. Only 50 senators translating to Democrat senators. I'm calling out the warning. Prepare yourself and your family. And honestly, I would. I'd have cash on me. Because if the internet goes down, you can't scan a card, okay? You can't. It won't work. Have some cash on you. Have enough food to do you at least a couple of weeks. and just sit tight and wait and hang in there, because I think we're all going to go through it. I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's going to affect like the US in that way. So like, I don't know if there'll be an actual false flag in the US. There could be. So just look, eyes open, okay? Keep your eyes open. If you see something suspicious, say something. Benny Johnson said Jeffrey Epstein attempted to extort Bill Gates for $100 million for having an affair with a Russian bridge player, Mila Antonova. This is how Epstein's scheme of bribery and blackmail worked. He found dirt on rich and powerful men and he used it to manipulate and coerce them. This is also why the FBI and CIA used him as an asset, and this is why he was murdered. He knew too much, so they offed him. I don't believe he's dead. Now I believe he's in witness protection to take the stand when this finally does come out. Because people say, who knows where the bodies are buried? And everyone says, General Michael Flynn. Who would know where the bodies are buried better than anyone else? Epstein? When does a bird sing? When they're caged? You got Alison Mack, and you got Epstein, and you got Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's just wait and see what happens, hey? It may not happen, but that's what I think, just personally. Jules Jones said, whoa, did you hear what happened this morning? An AI-generated image of an explosion at the US Pentagon spread like wildfire. The S&P 500 even took a hit, dropping 30 points in a matter of minutes. But get this, the image was fake. As in totally bogus. And now people are freaking out, wondering who started the whole mess. Welcome to the world of AI-created propaganda images. Because people took this as real. Okay, I'm lucky I had a few days to sit back and wait. And by the way, my rental inspection went beautifully. It always does. I just get really nervous before any inspection. Laverne Spicer said, Joe Biden is sparking a war between black people and illegals. I can only laugh. Black people helped put Biden in office. Black people gave Biden the power to elevate illegal aliens above themselves. Black people gave Biden the power to channel resources away from themselves. Oh, hang on. Black people gave Biden the power to elevate illegal aliens above themselves. Oh, I was down to here. What am I doing? Oh my God. I had to share this because I couldn't even read the thing when it says see more, and I click on it on my phone. I can't read it. So I've put this in to read the whole thing. Okay, black people gave Biden the power to channel resources away from themselves and onto his millions of new illegal voters. Not all black people. Black people gave Biden the power to move illegals and their families into their neighbourhoods and take up spaces meant for them. So why cry now? Of course, all those illegals was going to come to your cities and get stuff that's meant for you. Where did you think your president was going to put all the illegals you let him bring in? As I said, this is not all black people. This is just, I think it's actually a minority. I think they stole it. I don't think they put President Biden in at all. Fox News has been warning you all for 2 years, but you all can't watch that. No, I wouldn't watch Fox News either. Oh no, too racist, too many lies. But CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, NY Times and Washington Post all kept that a secret from you. Folks, if you're all not happy now, it's your own damn fault for not listening to us. Keep voting Democrat to stick it to Trump and the Republicans. See where it gets you. It'll get Joe Biden back in. But I don't know. I don't think there was a majority of black people voting for Biden. Could be, and I just don't know, but I think it was stolen. Paul Joseph Watson said a TikToker who filmed himself committing crimes for social media clout leading to his arrest says people are only outraged because he's a black male. Remember the guy and his friends who were walking into people's houses that I showed the other day? Yeah, he got busted. And now he says because he's black. ALX said, what do you think happened to Jeffrey Epstein? What do you guys think? Do you think he's dead? Do you think he's out on some other island now enjoying his time? Or do you think he's been kept, like I do, in, like, for... whenever this court case comes up, he is going to have to talk. protective custody. That's what I think he's in. But you can let me know what you guys think. You think he's dead? Do you think he's alive? Mate said Victorians will face 10 years of new taxes and COVID levies. Dan Andrews shut down businesses through the useless lockdowns. Many closed forever, and now he enforces the ones remaining to pay for his BS mistakes. Victoria is broke. Seriously broke. In fact, Australia's broke. FOTA recognised aggressors against whatever. I don't know. I can't read the rest of it. Question. What is the difference between Aboriginal people and First Nations? Answer. The man on the left is Aboriginal. The man on the right is a First Nations leader. This is a real Aboriginal. This man, the man on the right, this one here, is a First Nations leader. First Nations is a Marxist political project. Okay, and it's not going to help these people at all. This voice will not, it'll help these people, not him. What Voice to Parliament is really about? Facts the government didn't mention. Voice to Parliament is designed to prove First Nations are sovereign in international law. Sovereign nations have independent authority. They would then not be bound to the Constitution or laws of Australia. Oh, run amok. That's what that is. Give them permission to run amok. Anywho. Ben Gilroy said, proof if anyone needed it, the EU are the enemy of the people. The EU approves Dutch plan to forcibly close farms. The European Union has approved controversial plans for the Dutch government to forcibly buy out livestock farms in creating their new world order. Jack Posobiec said 25-year-old drunk driver complains, like, oh my God, it's going to be so bad when I get out, my life is over, after she crashed into a bride and killed her on a wedding night. And that's what she's worried about, her life being over. Forget the poor bride, who's now dead. Oh my God, oh my God, seriously. Rebecca Barnett said, breaking, the Australian government colluded with big tech to suppress speech on COVID. What a surprise. Is this evidence of a censorship industrial complex down under? Yeah, they removed my other channel. They said I was medical misinformation or disinformation. I don't know. But it turned out to be true, so there you go. CC, Elon Musk, we're ready for Twitter Files Oz Edition. 4213 COVID-19 related content referrals are made to digital platforms to review content against their own terms of service by the Department of Home Affairs for the period of 1st of January 2017 to the 15th of December 2022. I can thank the Australian government for getting my channel deleted. Now I can actually point at someone. Fubadoo says it takes China 38.38 hours to pump out an entire year's worth of New Zealand's CO2 emissions. That means that the New Zealand Greens forecast saving of 1% of our emissions is equal to 22.8 minutes of China's emissions. Even if you're one of the idiots who believes the billionaires telling them they have to cut off their fossil fuels while they fly around in private jets and cruise around in super yachts, this is not meaningful. Absolute waste of time and money. Nothing but a virtue signalling exercise for political points with a dumb voter base. I agree. Senator Alex Antic said Australia's very own Twitter Files scandal emerges. And again, the Australian Government Department has been exposed as a key player in the COVID censorship industrial complex. The Department of Home Affairs has finally responded to my Freedom of Information request and admitted it has been making requests of social media companies to censor COVID posts. The department needs to explain the nature of the 4,213 requests it made. Almost 4 requests per day through a 3-year period. And whether any of those requests relate to matters which have now been debunked, such as the effectiveness of COVID vaccination in preventing transmission. Read the story in Australia's newspaper today, and I can't read the Australian because they want you to pay for it. But there you go. I demand compensation now for having my... God knows where I'd be if I had kept my 40,000 sub channel. Would I have hundreds of thousands of subs now? Could I have made a living? Elon Musk parody. Okay, citizen journalism is going to bring a paradigm shift in media and will be the first step towards freedom of speech based on logic and facts. One sec, guys. Over the next 2 years, I anticipate citizen journalists will eventually become more famous than mainstream journalists. People will rather seek social media to explore the truth rather than watch TV or read newspapers. Mainstream media and their journalists can still course correct themselves by showing neutrality and prioritising the natural narrative, but they won't and hence become irrelevant. Remember that the duty of journalists is to tell the truth. Citizen journalism will become one of the most important pillars for the future of civilization. I'm here for it. John Mappin says 2 things are for sure. People want the truth and people want justice, and they will have it. And John Mappin says in the next 5 days a truth will be revealed that will blow your mind. Justice is coming. When was this? 23rd of May is 2 days. Okay. When? The next 5 days. Okay, I'll keep an eye out. By the way, guys, I won't be here Saturday morning. I've got my granddaughter again from Friday through to Saturday, but I'll be here on Sunday. So, yeah, it's just temporarily moving for a little bit. QBCC Integrity said last month Linda Burney showed us legislation that will remove our rights to water and place it in the hands of Indigenous people. This month, starting with WA, freehold land comes under jurisdiction and control under the ACH Act. This madness must end. Leon Clark said, what the hell is this? Read the page. This is supposedly coming to effect on the 1st of July. Need permission to do farming activities on our own freehold land. What a bloody joke. So we've got to ask the Aboriginals if it's okay if we grow on the land. You know what they can do? Seriously, they can go shove it. Sorry, not the Aboriginal people, like the people who want us to tell them that and ask permission. They can shove it because it's mostly the government and WEF puppets. QBCC Integrities also said, for those reporting this as false, look below the minister's own press release. And of course, a liar again. Clown Down Under said, welcome to Brisbane. Oh, look. It's looking like San Francisco. This is what they're doing. They're letting immigrants come in and we can't, like, seriously. I was worried about getting kicked out of my home the other day because I had chickens. Because you're supposed to ask first if you're allowed to have animals. It's the rules. And I didn't. But they're fine. They seem fine with it, so thank God for that. Otherwise, I would have been doing this, but out further in the country. And I feel like running anyway, honestly. I've got my, I don't know if you can see in the corner. Hang on, where is it? Can I move out of the way? There's a bag. Where is it? Right there. A camping bag. I've got my camping stove. I've got the tent. I've got 2 tents now. I've got everything I need to just go. Joey Manorino said Joe Biden invited 10 to 15 million illegals to live here all at once. Didn't build any shelters. Didn't build any housing. Didn't create any organised processing centres. Just sent them to our cities to live on our streets or in our hotels or in police station or in closed down schools in our neighbourhoods. Because Joe Biden didn't care enough about us Americans to make a plan. He didn't care what effect it would have on us, the people who pay taxes. So here's an idea, Joe. Why don't you house them all in the shopping centres your extended pandemic forced to close? Why don't you house them all in the retail spaces your black crime sprees are forced to close down or move? Why don't you house them in your Delaware homes and on Barack's Martha Vineyard compound? That's the best one. If we have to deal with them, why shouldn't you and all the Democrats who force this on us have to as well? How the Democrats are treating this country and the people who live here suggests that they don't think they need our votes anymore. If you really want to make America a dystopian hellhole, this is where it starts. Oh, they have a plan. Have you noticed that it's mostly military-aged men? Why would that be? And they're doing the same thing here in Australia. Dr. Simon Godek said, tomorrow I'll write an eye-opening thread about Dr. Liana Wen. Did you know that during the Boston bombing, Z was a physician involved in emergency response? Stay tuned. I think it's going to come out. That was a false flag. Dr. Russell McGregor said if Trump had not won in 2016, then 1, he would be dead, and 2, we would know nothing about the crimes committed against him. If White Hats were not currently in control, then 1, he would be dead, and 2, we would hear nothing about the crimes committed against him. That's true. And White Hats are good people, okay? They're helping from behind the scenes, which we won't see until this all comes out and gets exposed, which does seem like it's getting closer. Honestly, if by the 1st of July, Australia's going to bring in the Aboriginals own the water and the land and everything, I have a funny feeling it's going to happen. Something's going to happen before then. Sam Davis said, Professor Megan Davis, architect of The Voice, says, Labor's proposed voice would apply to all areas of executive government from the Reserve Bank to Centrelink, which is our, what do you call it, Social Security, used to be called Social Security. Giving Indigenous activists access to every government body. This should set off alarm bells. It's unacceptable. And that's for, yeah, The Voice in Australia. That is the actual paperwork that's going to do this. Matt Walsh says, safety layer, also known as a shirt. Hypocrite said, women are wearing a safety layer over their outfits in public to deter creepy men, with many labelling it sad but necessary. I think this is a great thing. Put clothes on. That's just me, though. I don't think people should be hanging all out everywhere. That's just, because it does draw even females. If another female's got a, you know, hanging out, like, all but the nipples, you know, with those really low shirts, even your eye, you kind of like, what the? Or maybe that's just me. Leftism said, it appears the person who originally docked the pregnant nurse, who was accosted by a group of black teens who tried to steal her bike, posted both her and her husband's social media accounts and pushed for her to get fired as a TikTok who goes by That Dinesh Guy. It's a thread. Oh, there's another guy now trying to stick up for the kids that stole the bike. And apparently his sister's come on a video and said that he dropped the bike off at, 7:19 or whatever time it was, but 19 minutes past the hour, and that she had the bike from 7:25, so 25 minutes past the hour, but the sister says that it was still his bike, even though he locked it up at 7:19. And the girl didn't come till 7:20. What was he doing? Standing there holding the bike so no one else could get it out? Like, yeah, it's just, this is ridiculous. They're trying and it's failing. First video got nearly 270 likes and over 3 million views. He made another video in which he called for people to put pressure on her job and the mayor. He asked for people to help identify the guy who suggested they reset the bike and called him Reset Ken, what some people use as the male version of Karen. In another video, he said that her lawyer saying they had receipts which proved that she had paid for the bike doesn't prove anything because we can't prove when the video was taken, and he proceeded to call out her reaction to the group of black teens trying to steal her bike. He makes a lot of videos in which he doxes people. TikTok US and TikTok support. Are you fine with this? He was already suspended some time back on Twitter. He has 1.6 million followers on TikTok. What's the bet? Half of them or more are bots. And they're apparently fine with him doxing people. He also posts these videos on YouTube, so I guess they're also fine with him doxing people. Well, YouTube is fine with people doxing people. He made a video about me and continued to call her out. Apparently I'm a far-right page that caters to white supremacists. That Dinesh Guy claims that he doesn't dox people, never doxed anyone. Yet, as you can see in my thread, he doxed the pregnant nurse who had a bike nearly stolen by a group of black teens. Yeah. And trying to get her fired. She's a pregnant woman. She's a nurse. And really? Really? trying to get her fired. Well, there's one less nurse. And she's pregnant, so she's got to try and support a child. Leftism, if you'd like to support what I do and get access to extra content, consider subscribing. Anyway, Matt Walsh says, does the open heart surgery... Where did I get door from? I'm becoming dyslexic. Does the open heart surgery leave a permanent wound that has to be forcibly dilated and will leave the patient prone to infection and disease for the rest of his life, all in an effort to create something that's supposed to look like a new organ but doesn't and never will? And the suspended account had said about the plastic surgery for trans people. He tried to say, well, open heart surgery. Yeah, but that's not creating a wound that you have to keep open. That is at risk of infection every day for the rest of your life. Okay, so that's probably... Has he actually been suspended? Oh, hang on, what happened there? Yep. I don't know. That goes to Matt Walsh. Maybe he was, Yeah, this one who's gone. Notices on Twitter and what they mean. The account is gone. Okay, Fortified Verdad said they're not after your kids. 7 board members resigned because they couldn't have drag shows with kids in attendance. How's that? These statements come a week after Northwest Arkansas Equalities was reportedly informed by the WAC that drag performance where minors are permitted will no longer be allowed in its facilities during Northwest Arkansas Pride Week. The statement from WAC explains that due to the charged nationwide political conversations around drag and minors that many times results in divisive and dangerous rhetoric, we asked if there was any way we could help NWA Pride reach its intended goals for the youth zone without drag performances for minors. When that was not possible, we requested that those activities be moved to another venue and offered financial support and assistance in securing another location. Our concern was not simply around the physical safety surrounding the events, but the policy to not allow parents, guardians and caregivers into the youth zone. Oh, yikes. Wow. Scarlett Johnson said, why did Target hire a Satanist to design pieces for their recent Pride clothing line? What the F? Satan loves you and respects who you are. LGBTQIA plus people are so often referred to as being a product of Satan or going against God's will. So fine, we'll hang with Satan instead. Great. Is there more? This has been so hard to keep quiet, but I can now proudly announce that you can buy... Oh, okay. UB Perella in US Target, so naturally Satan respects pronouns. He loves all LGBTQIA people. Target has some explaining to do. Look at the designs. Oh my goodness. Would you want your child wearing that? Trans witches for abortion. Join our gay cult. Definitely not trying to use designs and art to groom, manipulate and control kids. Oh my goodness. Done with Target. Satan is hope, compassion, equality and love, so naturally Satan respects pronouns. He loves all LGBTQIA people. I went with a variation of Baphomet for this design, a deity who themselves is a mixture of genders, beings, ideas and existence. They reject binary stereotypes and expectations. Perfect. Being called a demon is something I can cope with. The idea of a trans demon is pretty damn cool. Really? Most of my work focuses on gothic or dark and satanic. I'd be watching this person. Is she saying she is, or is she quoting them? Seriously. Most of my work focuses on gothic or dark and satanic imagery juxtaposed with bright colours and LGBTQ plus positive messages. Why Target? Why on earth did you think... Oh, no, she's quoting. Sorry, she's quoting the other person who did it, okay? Why on earth did you think hiring this designer was a good idea? Time's up for phobes. Sorry, you're cis. We bash back. Methinks the trans cult sex religion is sending us a message. They've been doing it for a while. We bash back? That's creepy. Yeah. I don't know. It's not Scarlett Johansson who's saying this. She's quoting what the person who, the Satanist who made all this stuff. The Columbia Bugle said Fox News going full Bud Light. Fox News employees are allowed to use bathrooms that align with their gender identity rather than their biological sex, and permitted to dress in alignment with their preferred gender. Watch out, Sky News Australia, you're owned by the same people. They must also be addressed by their preferred name and pronouns in the workplace. Leaked policy exposes Fox News stance on woke ideology. Yep, Sky News Australia are owned by Murdoch as well. So, I don't know why people... I know why people listen to certain people from Sky News Australia, just like people listen to Tucker Carlson. I do understand that. There are a few good people in Sky News Australia, very few. But yeah, they're going to go the same way. Columbian Bugle said, bruh, Fox also offers to help employees come up with a workplace transition plan to ease their gender transition at work. They want you to think it's the place that supports traditionally conservative values, a former producer for Tucker Carlson Tonight told the Daily Signal, but in reality they're pushing this nonsense behind the scenes. Full Bud Light, a source who still works at Fox News, told the Daily Signal that after Carlson's show was cancelled in April, producers for the new 8 p.m. Fox News Tonight program were told not to bash Mulvaney. That directive came from high-level executives, the source said. And more from the Fox News Employee Handbook. Under the category Gender Transition, Fox's Employee Handbook promises the company is dedicated to expanding and strengthening efforts to sustain a more inclusive work environment. That's all I need to hear. And Matt Walsh's thread on his experience with Fox News. They're into fully woke on the trans ideology. And Matt Walsh has been personally blacklisted from appearing on the network because of his stance on the issue that women are, or woman means an adult human female. This is confirmed by DS, and I've heard it on record from Fox producers. It gets worse. Back in 2022, Fox News America's Newsroom just ran a segment on the joys of parents helping a young child transition genders. I don't think we need to hear anymore. I think we know Fox News has gone woke and they're going to go broke. Okay, Matt Walsh said we now have Instagram influencers making inspirational videos about euthanasia. Are you excited? She asked her grandmother, who was about to be put down. We need to stop using words like Orwellian to describe our culture. It makes things seem better than they really are. This is propaganda. I doubt this lady's actually going for that, and if she is, then is she right in the head? Seriously. And if this girl's all right with it, I don't get it. It just seems like propaganda to me. Malcolm Roberts said, meanwhile, after governments destroyed our economy, stole basic universal freedoms and rights, destroyed livelihoods and killed tens of thousands of Australians, natural immunity is recognised. Never let them do it again at future elections, remember. 3 years late, the Lancet recognises natural immunity. So all those people didn't need to get... Bloody insane they are. Sister Barbara Reen said home confiscation is hidden behind the voice referendum. Do your own research, vote no, because they can confiscate your whole home and your land. Dr. Keck said, can you tell me where this structure originated? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's this? It's just quiet. Oh, this is drone footage of the island. Interesting, isn't it? I don't know if many people have seen this, the drone footage. I know a lot of you would have seen it, but there's possibly some people that haven't seen this. Who's that sweeping? Geez, that'd be a big job to sweep all that, wouldn't it? Or is he just sweeping along the wall? Oh my God. God knows what he's doing there. He, she, I can't tell. What's this snail looking thing symbol? It's a swirly circle. Is that in the FBI's bloody... Oh, did he just try and throw something at the drone? I think he did. Now he's getting back in his little golf cart thing. It's interesting looking at this. So where... I wonder where the submarines went in. It'd have to be deep, so it'd have to be a dark area, surely. Because the deeper the water, the darker it is. You know that. Pretty obvious. Other than the, yeah, the reef and stuff too. If there's a reef there, I don't know. Or seaweed. Seaweed can be dark. So this is the island done by drone footage. Keep going, mate. Fly over. There's a little boat sitting out there. Are they too scared to go in? Something is... There's stuff happening on the island still. Little golf cart again, little golf buggy thing. Oh mate, you're making me sick turning the thing around like that. Just focus and go. Oh God, please. Oh, there's more golf buggies coming. Is that their backup? Oh dear. Why does this stuff make me feel like motion sickness? Okay, where's the thing? Is that a lake in the middle? I'm trying to look for where... Ah, it might be around this side where the subs dock. That looks like deeper water. But it can look like that from far away as well. Okay, we're getting to this area. Stop moving, mate. And the dome's been removed. There was a dome on top of it as well. I believe it originated in Egypt. It's Egyptian. Hey. Okay. It's nearly at the end. Okay, what's this? Oh, ancient bathhouse, Aleppo, Syria. So it's not maybe Egyptian, I don't know. Oh, look at it. Interesting. Weren't bathhouses for gay men? Wasn't there a similar style in Turkey? Let's see. Ancient bathhouse in Aleppo, Syria. Probably Babylonian or Canaan-inspired design, which is troublesome. 40 has said originated with people that the children of Israel were supposed to drive out of Canaan when God led them there from Egypt. Those people, mostly destroyed, fled to Aleppo, Syria. Eventually they made their way to Australia, New Zealand. I had a giant thread on this, but alas, Twitter ban seems permanent. Oh no. Okay. So there you go. I thought it was Egypt too, but no, we did hear years ago that it was the Turkish bathhouses. Syrian. Matt Wallace said, breaking news, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta fined a record $1.3 billion by the EU for violating privacy laws. Elon Musk will put Facebook out of business sooner rather than later. Yeah, I don't trust Elon Musk either now. Mark Zuckerberg begging for money as Meta collapses. There you go. Let's hope so. I left there a few years ago. As soon as it went from Facebook to Meta, I was out. Matt Wallace said it's over. Just obtained a video that showed Bill Gates took advantage of the Epstein girl. About to post it and expose everything. Where is it then? Oh, this shocking footage I obtained will put Bill Gates in prison. No proof is offered in the video to what the author is claiming. Receiving sex in exchange for a 501c3 donation is highly illegal. Jeffrey Epstein used this to blackmail Bill Gates for a reason. If it was in fact a 501c3 donation, Bill Gates is going to prison. Is Bill Gates paying off people who work for Community Notes now? This Community Notes is utterly false. Subscribe to my YouTube channel is completely free and I'll never request anyone pay anything to see the second video. The only reason you must subscribe with a notification on to see it is because I have to post it as an unlisted video. Posting it as public is too risky based on advice I've gotten from friends who make YouTube videos about similar topics. Yeah, you'll get deleted, mate. Also mentioned very clearly that you are welcome to unsubscribe after. My goal is to expose some of the most powerful people on earth. I actually spend more on security than I make doing this. I have no intention to stop seeking the truth no matter how many community notes they throw my way. Interesting. So sub to Matt Wallace's YouTube channel. She might find out some things. I'm not going to show it on here because he just said he's going to put it on unlisted through advice that he's been given. So for me to show it publicly would take me down as well. Again. Ghost Gone said, where does this go? Antarctica. A lot of people believe that behind the ice wall in Antarctica is more land. Green, warm land. David Pilates said it sure seems like the left offends the criminals and not the victims. This person has proven their offender status and doesn't deserve a place on any board, especially a board where he victimised someone. The left continues to disgust me. And this is in response to Amiri King said, stranger than fiction. Seattle's Homeless Task Force nominated Thomas Whitaker to their board. The board is responsible for over $200 million in taxpayer money. In 2010, Whitaker was charged with attacking a 13-year-old. In 2012, he was charged with attacking a 15-year-old. In 2018, he was found living in a tent with a minor. This all came to light when he was called out by a fellow board member that he had also previously molested. What was the board's response? Whitaker's sex offender status does not disqualify him from serving on the Homeless Task Force. They even scolded the board member that he molested for bringing up his story of assaulting people. This is the left in a nutshell. This is taxpayer money at work. Dear God. Okay, if it looks like a duck, you know the rest. For sake, now we have the traditional handing out of effing gum leaves to players as part of the fake AFL Welcome to Country circus. I like how he spelt country there. This shit's out of control. So now they're giving people gum leaves and welcoming them to country in Australia for everything. Even if you live here, even if you were born here, they welcome you to country. Dear God. Dr. Sydney Watson said, my friend the Buttsman, this is Isaac Butterfield. It's a comedian, Australian comedian. He's a bit lefty on some things, a bit righty on others, you know, so he's sort of in the middle there, and I don't know. I watch him sometimes. Okay, has been summoned by the Queensland Human Rights Commission because someone found his stand-up comedy offensive and traumatising. Dragging anyone, but especially a comedian, before a tribunal for making jokes is madness. He always says, what does he say at the end of his his videos? He says, be a good mother effer, peace in the Middle East, and that his dick stinks. That's what he says. Every single closing on his channel. Okay. Dr. Keck said, we're all watching a movie. It just isn't over yet. Is this the one Joe Biden's getting on? Oh, look. Green screen at the top. Oh, dear God. And what's this? White House building. Love it. What's this? And is that there? I don't know. I don't know what the last bit is, but the rest of it looks funny. And follow Dr. Keck for more. And Alex Jones put out, Google this number, US 6506148B2. It is no longer a conspiracy theory. Your television is a brainwashing tool used to manipulate you. And then Carly Bone. Oh, this was creepy. Is that not creepy or what? They want to plug your head into computers. Well, that's what Elon wants to do with Neuralink, isn't it? But look at it. Ugh. It looks evil. That looks really evil to me. Does that not look evil to anyone else? Elon Musk said, great statement by Vote Tim Scott. I don't trust Elon.
Today's kids are growing up immersed in a culture where everyone's a victim. We have to start teaching the necessity of individual responsibility. If you are able-bodied, you work. If you take out a loan, you pay it back. If you commit a violent crime, you go to jail. Can I get an amen? I'm telling you the truth. I'm Tim Scott, and I approve this message. Today's...
Interesting. And Elon Musk said one hell of a plasma beam. What does it do? This also just, confirms to me that they're way ahead in technology than what we think. Okay, Vernon Jones said Republicans are coming out swinging against the most dangerous president this nation's ever had. Do you support impeaching Joe Biden? Breaking articles of impeachment to be filed. And this obviously was deleted, so I can't... Can I? No. They've been deleted. What was it about? Oh, to clarify, I'm talking about the liar Ben Crump. The woman was able to produce... Oh, that was about the lady... The pregnant lady on the bike. Okay, Voice for Kids said a fringe minority have gathered in Oakley. I did that one last time. Okay, so that's the end of the news. So far. Oh, God help us. It's insane. Okay, oh shit, I've got top chat. I'm not going to be able to get back, am I? Okay. Let's go from where I can. MJ said, Zena, I know I loved her early stuff. James said, disgusting, mandic, evil people. Zena said, it really is awful what happens to a lot of them. I mean, they're really gifted. MJ said, Zena, our heart will go on to other better things. And Zena said, unexploited. Alex said, I saw a video the other day of two blokes that got onto the island. Yeah, Luke Radowski was one of them who got onto the island. He is from We Are Change channel on YouTube, and he actually went on that. I do believe, yep, that was Rusty Shackelford's drone footage. Yes. And Zenitron said MJ and on, lols. James said cleaning the bricks, symbolism. MJ said seashells, conch shells. And Menacing Muskrat has put in a link for MAID in Canada, which is taking your own life when you've got a, well, even if you're disabled or homeless, they're now suggesting you can get euthanasia. Dealey said the island is for sale, 125 million. A Xenotron said a portal or vortex that might open to another dimension. Xena said they could go in through a tunnel and come up an elevator. And James said lost golf cart. Alex said sneaking onto Jeffrey Epstein's private island with a link. I believe that is Luke Radowski from We Are Change. I could be wrong, but I believe that's who it is. MJ said, how would anyone with a heart want that island knowing what was done? Damn it, Mandy said, what island is that? It's Epstein's Island. Xenotron said, MJ, most of them have no heart, just changing hands and land titles and money laundering, nothing else matters. James said, I'd buy it, but build a big church over the temple. Deb said it was only one of the island that was involved, or one of the islands that was involved, yep. And Dealey said, Mandy, it was Epstein Island, yep. Alex said, sneaking onto the private Epstein's Island part 2 is also, she's put the link in there. And James said, that thing, yikes. Menacing Muskrat said, Little St. James Island. Yeah, it's called Little St. James and it was Jeffrey Epstein's Island. James said, Masonic perhaps. Deb said, this must be a ladder video. James said, Branson has island nearby. Yes, he does. He does. Deb said, I thought Greek. Deb said, temple is now painted white. MJ said, Samaria, way back. Really? Xenotron said, Isaac Cappy. And James said, Bathhouse, Barry Obama knows about that sort of thing. Larry knew. Dealey said, Deb, Biden owned the next island, sold it to his brother. Deb said, the dead man's switch of Isaac Cappy. Yes. Deb said, was a bathhouse. Xenotron said, that's right, Deb could have been eaten island inside that temple. Could have been Epstein. Oh. Island inside that temple. Menacing Muskrat has put a link, Kazarian Mafia. Menacing Muskrat said, do you think Isaac Cappy is dead, Xenotron? I don't. I think he's protective custody too. I don't know. I just think a lot of people happen to be in protective custody because when these trials do come out, they're going to need all these people to speak, including Assange. James said, good night, everyone. Only handle so much evil in one day. Peace and blessings, everyone. You too, James. MJ said, wow, this dude's smart. MJ said, Matt Wallace, good job, man. Definitely, yeah. Menacing Muskrat said, good night, James. And everyone's saying, take care, James. And Dammit Mandy says, James, is Angel going on tonight? Deb says, summer gates are open to the other islands. Xenotron said, menacing, I think he might be. Xenotron said his death didn't make sense, especially after brackets and jackets. Xenotron said, I'm not leaving till Gum leaves. Menacing Muskrat said, I'm still up on the air on Cappy. He was deep into the cabal. So was Jim Carrey. I'm beginning to wonder if they were deep planted white hats. Yes. We were told that some people we think are bad might end up being good. Darren said, I'm not leaving a good review for this movie. Alex said, good night and take care, James. MJ said, Darren, I'm with you. Deb said, you can't tell jokes anymore just because it offended one person, so all jokes are on notice. Isn't it ridiculous? No one's going to have a sense of humour anymore. Dealey said, Muskrat, I'm cautious with anyone from Hollywood. Alex said, they can keep their brain chips. Menacing Muskrat said, Sophia, oh yeah, the robot. Deb said, night, James. MJ said, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. Tell him. Alex said, there's a picture of Elon Musk kissing a robot, weirdo. Yeah, see, I don't know, I just don't trust him fully. I like when he says good things, but I still, yeah, don't know. Same as Ron DeSantis. I like it when he says good things, but I don't fully trust him. Darren said, Deb, they offended the majority of people and get away with it. You only count if you're a minority now. MJ said, robot kissing another robot. Alex said, yes, MJ. Darren said that was a Raptor rocket from Elon's SpaceX. And Deb's laughing with Xena. Xena said it creates footage for their fake rocket launches. Yeah, creates, yep. MJ said Raptor rocket, oh my god. Menacing Muskrat said they're trying to break through the veil just like they tried to do during the Tower of Babylon. Alex said it was a channel called Blackout sneaking onto the island. Oh, okay. Because I know that We Are Change, Luke Radowski did too. And that was way back, like 2018, maybe 19. I can't remember how far back it was. Dealey said, I wonder if Disney cruise ship still goes to the island. Menacing Muskrat said, Biden's brother has Water Island. They're all connected. Branson, Biden, Oprah, Epstein, and on. Xenotron said, I think Anne Hesh and Chester Bennington might be in protective custody. Alex said, Peter Nygaard Island too. Yep. I think he got arrested. It's only a matter of time before the rest do. Damn it, Mandy said, can you imagine Al Bundy today? I don't think that show would survive. Oh, definitely not. There's a lot of shows that wouldn't survive these days. Alex said, I don't trust Musk or any of them. They have all proven they can't be trusted. I think they're all in it for themselves. Darren said, of course not. Mandy, that show was too white. Zena said, pretty sure there's a deep underwater tunnel complex connecting all those islands. Could be. And Deb said, hey Angie, how you going? I didn't see you in there, but I'm stuck because the chat jumped and now I can't get back to the chat from before. Alex said, I used to love that show, damn it, Mandy. Damn it, Mandy said, how many times have you ever heard of the feds going door to door demanding a diary, but they did it here to get Joe Biden's daughter's diary back? Anyone know if they found it? Some of that's been released. We've seen it. Inappropriate showers with his daughter. So who knows? Hopefully the person who does have it has copied it before giving it back, if they have to give it back. Menacing Muskrat said, yes, Peter Nygaard was arrested a couple of years ago along with Keith from Nixium. Dealey said, Alex Musk recently agreed with Turkey to censor Twitter in Turkey. Oh. Alex said, interesting theory, Xenotron. I find it strange a lot of them end up having their organs harvested. And Xenotron said, my stomach turns. Alex said, remember that Mr. Ballin where the man got arrested for saving his son from his son having his organs taken? I do, yes. They wanted to turn off the life support and the bloke actually went down to his car, got his weapon, went back up to the hospital room and told all the doctors to get away, like while pointing his weapon at them. And his son came around and woke up out of the... So if they had turned all that off, they would have killed someone. Alex said he barricaded the door. His son ended up living, but the man still got arrested. Yes, I remember that, Alex. So, yeah, let me just check a few things. I'll be able to go donations through StreamYards in a while as well, but I can't do anything else until then. Is there any other news going on? No, not really. At least not as far as I can see. Okay. Darren said, I remember it, Alex. Alex said they want to take everyone's arms and legs so we can't protect ourselves. Yeah. Yeah, they want to remove everyone's pew-pew. And Deb said, I can't see Menacing. Hello, Menacing. Darren said, you have to carry a card to say you don't want to donate organs now. Really? Okay, I'll write a note and put it in my wallet and say you're not taking my bloody organs. No way. Damn it, Mandy said, don't forget to boycott Target. Yes, everybody. We have Target here in Australia and I don't shop there. Now I know why. I haven't for a long time though, so... Alex said, I need to get that card. Just write your own card, Alex. I do not consent to my organs being donated. Anyway, guys, I'm going to probably leave it there for today. Deb said, so I was waiting to see if the old channel comes back. I don't think they're going to. They haven't... I have appealed it, and they have not answered me at all now. They've just gone, that's it. See ya. So that's what YouTube are doing. And I've also paid for Streamlabs so that I'm going to have to try and set it up where I can also live stream straight to Rumble for anyone who's interested in that. Darren said, yeah, Alex, the law allows them to take the organs unless explicitly stated that you don't want to donate. They can easily say they didn't see it. Alex said they'd probably take them anyway. MJ said I had to get it off my license, organ donation. And everyone's saying goodnight. Damn it, Mandy said, in the United States we have to answer organ donation questions so our status is on the back of our driver's license. Ours used to be too, but they took it off now. I think it goes through Medicare here in Australia. But anyway, guys, I won't be here on Saturday, but I will be here on Sunday, so look out for me. Much love to you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys, have a good one. Bye.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago. But all...
Sorry to interrupt, but Alex just asked a question. Doesn't StreamYard have that feature? Yes, but because I lost my channel, I had to start on StreamYard again too. So they won't let you do it until you're a verified user, which means you've got to keep going live for a while before you can get that access to the donations again. So anyway, guys, much love, and I'll see you soon. This time I'm going, I promise. Okay, bye. See ya.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago. But all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright. And for the first time in a long time, I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago. But all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows. And we're all going live, still nobody knows. But I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago. But all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. Back a year ago.